Folks, the big night, the final show of the year. Of course, we got our PAHA Awards, Pervert and Sexual Hypocrites of the Year. I think you're going to find this entertaining. But before we get started, we have some preliminary awards that we have to go through. But it's been quite a year for sexual hypocrisy and fun and games and things that we really enjoy. And we love mocking people, the self-righteous, the pompous people. That's who we're after. We're not after the ordinary people. We're not after the low people. We're not after the people that are trying to do their jobs or getting through everyday life, that have flawed lives, that are trying to get ahead. We are all for you, but we are against pomposity and hypocrisy. That is the motto of this show. So our first award that we're going to hand out here is the Quote of the Year. The Quote of the Year is very, very tough award to win because there's so many quotes that people do. But I am going to give it to a defeated candidate for treasurer in the state of Nevada by the name of Michelle Fiore, who said of another woman, another Republican, Amy Tarkanian, she said, quote, 2 shots and a panty dropper. You can't get any meaner than that. And I would urge you to look at a picture of Miss Fiore, and I don't know, but there could be some projection going on here. You know, we're big into projection. We talk a lot about how these people are consumed with homosexuality, and we've speculated on what might be behind that. But for our Quote of the Year, Michelle from Las Vegas, you get it. 2 shots and a panty dropper. Man, that's going to get you far and wide. We call the Pompous Ass Award of the Year. Now, this is a hard one to get, but we have some scriptural authority in awarding the Pompous Ass of the Year. And I would refer you to the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 23. And we'll put it up on there so you can read it. So what it takes to win this, you have to be very pompous, you have to dress up, you have to, it helps to be anti-gay. Of course, we got all of this. And our friend, Cardinal Raymond Burke, who is a fat-ass, pompous asshole. And you will see from his dress. Now, understand, this is a man that is very against gay people and very against drag. Am I seeing some projection in our Pompous Ass of the Year winner? And hats off to the Gospel of St. Matthew, who gives us scriptural authority to proceed with this show, because that's very important that we have this at this most holy time of the year. The Icky Award is Lifetime Achievement. We've had some people that think it's really good. There's a big ick factor of Mike Johnson with his 13-year-old daughter publicizing the fact that he took a picture of her signing some purity pledge. But the champion of all time is Donald Trump on Howard Stern fantasized about having sex with his own daughter. I don't think that's possible to get any ickier than that. So our Icky Award goes to Donald John Trump. He gets so many awards, he's Hall of Famer for sure. And I want to, before I go to the big award, to the big night, to the thing that we've all been anticipating, I want you to pay a lot of attention, and it's trending on whatever, and you can find it anywhere. Just Google Trump stinks. Apparently, this man has terrible body odor. Now, it might be, well, it depends. Let's put it that way. There could be some, he doesn't like leak. There could be some leakage in his depends, or it could be natural body odor. Maybe we can get the head of the Department of Olfactory Science at Stanford or University of Chicago to take some measurements. In the meantime, if Trump has a rally close to you, maybe you could pass the hat and get one of these airplanes with a banner to say Trump stinks. And of course, we know his compadre, his best friend, Rudy Giuliani, is the best known public farter in the United States. He's farted on camera a multitude of times. I don't want to think about what it smells like. But if you want to ruin your holiday, think about sitting down with Trump and Rudy Giuliani and what that smells like. I think the odors are going to go very high on the Scoville scale. I don't know what they call it, but we can get some experts in here to measure just how much Donald John Trump stinks. But from people that have been close to them have reported that it's a very noxious odor that he puts off. And again, don't know if he has incontinence or some other reason. I looked up you can check the Mayo Clinic. There are a number of serious medical conditions that manifest themselves with rancid body odor. Maybe he should get a physical. It could be something wrong with the man if he stinks that much. But that's a very, very important thing. So we now get to the moment that we've been waiting for the whole year. And this award goes to the biggest pervert and sexual hypocrite of the year. The award is going to be called the Star-Hastert Award. Now, why, to get an award like this is like the Cy Young Award, okay? You really got to be somebody important, and you really got to be a pervert, and you really got to be a hypocrite of the first order to have this trophy named after you. Let's start with Dennis Hastert. Hastert, a little history here, because there was a run during the Clinton Republican freak-out fainting during the Lewinsky thing. You know, what are we going to tell the children? And Newt Gingrich was the speaker. Now, Gingrich does not deserve an award. He was just boning the choir girl while he was married and telling his wife when she got cancer diagnosis said he was leaving her, and he was trying to impeach Clinton. I mean, that's hypocritical enough, but that don't put you in this league. Then if you remember, the torch passed to a gentleman by the name of Robert Livingston, who's actually from the New Orleans area, and he was going to be the great hope of morality in the United States. I think he lasted 3 days, because then the story broke that, well, he was boning a defense lobbyist. Kind of interestingly, he and his wife blamed me for leaking it, and of course they came to realize it wasn't me, it was Tom DeLay. I love the way these Republicans shit on each other, and they do it. We're not as good as they are about it. And then, not knowing what to do, they went to the sanctified man of the plains, Dennis Hastert, the wrestling coach. When you get compared by David Broder in the Washington Post to Abraham Lincoln, let me tell you, partner, you're setting yourself up to have an award named after you. But I'm naming it the Hastert Award because I'm paying due homage to Speaker Gingrich and Speaker Livingston, because we know this is a party of family values and morality, and that they're grossed out by, I don't know, anything that you can think of, but their own behavior. They're never grossed out by that. Hastert, as I pointed out in earlier lectures, went to the federal penitentiary because he was taking out money to pay off people that he molested when he was the wrestling coach. And it somehow or another, the Washington establishment just kind of forgot about Hastert, and he was, of course, a refreshing break with the Clinton past, if you will. And so, Speaker Hastert, this award is named after you. Of course, the singular pervert sexual hypocrite of our time in the United States would be, drum roll please, Ken Starr, a Judge Starr. He was the independent counsel that was investigating Clinton, and he was very moral. He would go and he'd leak stories about how he would jog and listen to gospel music down by some creek in Northern Virginia, and was very public and how pious he was. He was a Protestant version of Cardinal Burke. And Judge Starr was an icon of the Washington legal establishment, the former editor of the Washington Post. Said Ken Starr could do no wrong. In my view, he was heralded as a man of integrity. I was attacked by the editorial page of the New York Times for engaging in, quote, buffoonery, unquote, for calling into question what a sterling example of American morality that Ken Starr was. He was president of Baylor, and it's not good. What I'm going to tell you is not good, but they were recruiting football players who were raping co-eds. I think it was going on in bathrooms and failure of institutional control. And there is something called a Pepper Hamilton. That's the way they whitewash everything. They get a law firm. But we'll never see it, but there's conjecture in there. And then, of course, the sanctified Holy Judge Starr apparently had a little action on the side, and he was engaged in what we call thumping. That would be more like was his wife because he was married to another woman, but he was some form of wife beating that he was engaged in, and he for that is the honorary name with Dennis Hastert that goes on the Star-Hastert Award. Now there are plenty of people that are pretenders but not contenders, like Lauren Boebert. Okay, downshifting a guy's crankshaft at an opera house, it's going to get you so much, but that's not going to get you in the Ken Starr, Dennis Hastert category. For that, you need some major perversion and you need some major hypocrites. So it's really a tough decision that we have to make. I want to introduce you to the award that's going to be presented for the Star-Hastert Award that will award to the winner, and it is this. I got this at E's Apple in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, and the people that sold it to me were very helpful explaining it. If you notice, it's purple and gold. You see LSU, and this will be the award that will be forwarded to the winner, and I will go with the two contenders. In one contender would be, it takes a lot to get here now. This is no easy shit, okay? There's a lot of thought goes into this. But the Falwells, Jerry and Becca, they were, of course, he was president of Liberty University. Look up the student code of conduct for sex at Liberty University. It's basically verboten. Isn't that a fancy word for forbidden? Something. It's not good. You can't do it. And they were at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami Beach. I know it well. Been there many times. And there was a pool boy. He was a very diligent young man. Was getting the towels out and making sure. And Mrs. Falwell, in a word, invited him up to the hotel room, where they proceeded to entertain Jerry Falwell, son of that fat bigot Jerry Falwell. You could do a book out by Tim Alberta. I suggest that you read it. And he was quite a spectator at whatever was going on. And this went on, and there was some money involved, and there was a lot of stuff and some high lawyers. But the Falwells, you have deserved the nomination for the Star-Hastert Trophy, if you will, for 2023. Now, there's some strong contention, and I'd have to refer you to the Ziegler family of Sarasota Farm. Now, these are not ordinary people. These are, Mr. Ziegler, of course, is the chairman of the Florida Republican Party, a man photographed multiple times with Donald J. Trump. Mrs. Ziegler, interestingly enough, was one of the founders of Moms for Liberty. These are the people that go through and burn books and if you tell a 13-year-old they're actually gay people or black people in the world, you'll freak them out and they'll turn gay or turn black, I think. I have no idea. These people are so goddamn crazy. But she was very much on the front line. She was also the head of the Sarasota County, Florida School Board. So she was in a position to be sure that morality in its every manifestation was taught to the children of Sarasota County, Florida. On October the 2nd, her husband, Christian, I love that name, showed up for a repeat performance with a woman who we don't know her name, and that had a prior, this according to everybody, admissions were made, they had a prior threesome. You see, they could use this thing works on both sides. It works on this side, and it also works on that side. So I guess Mr. Ziegler could have some double action here. And, if you have a pal, you got to have major hypocrisy, and two people don't get you this award. There has to be a pal. The Zieglers did have a pal, and the woman whose name we don't know, nor is it any of our business, claims that Mr. Ziegler beat her up or abused it as tape. There's also tape, we're told by the Sarasota police, there's actually tape of the first threesome. So I don't know how you allocate this because there's evidence out there. So I've given this a lot of thought, and I think I'm going to hold the actual award in abeyance or going to delay it until we have the tape. Now, I don't want to make this because we have some experts in the booth, and I want to go to Stephanie Clifford, Stormy Daniels, and she's out in the San Fernando Valley where there's some of the top people in American porn. We're going to talk to and see if they can confirm my ruling. Pella S. James here. Have you looked at my ruling, and can we get in the booth? Can the booth take another look at this? I'm waiting on them. They're examining what I said. Excuse me? Okay. Yes, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. The ruling on the field is confirmed. The award will be held in abeyance until we get to look at the videotape. But I was reminded by Chatsworth, that's where the center of this stuff is, that the tape is going to be only determinative if it contains a money shot. You can look what the money shot in the porn industry is, or alternatively, if it contains Ms. Ziegler or the other woman, climax. Those two would get them on top. But the video itself has to have one of these two elements to have the Zieglers beat the Falwell for the awards this year. So we're going to wait, and we're going to be in suspense. I hate to do this to you, New Year's Eve, and I know you were waiting for a winner to be declared, but all the evidence not in. We're very fair-minded people. We want to be sure that we get all the evidence we have, and we just don't give this little purple and gold puppy away to anybody. You've got to really work hard to deserve it and come up with some creativity. I'm happy to say that our nominees tonight have met the very exacting standards for the Star-Hastert royal gadget. I call it a gadget. And why do I call it a gadget? Because this year Oppenheimer was made, and what they were working on in Los Alamos, the gadget. So in honor of Oppenheimer and in honor of all of the veterans of World War II, I present you with the new gadget. And it's purple, we're all purple, very, very appropriate. King Charles, Meghan Markle, so don't give these gadgets away. So we'll hold it advance as soon as we get a decision, as soon as we're able to look at the videotape. we'll come up with a final award winner. But until then, it's New Year's coming up. I know you're going to be having a good time, and I'm going to have some black-eyed peas and cabbage, and my beloved Tigers play on New Year's Day, and I'll be watching the playoffs and NFL games. And I hope you do that. And we're going to come back, and we're going to continue to mock them, because that's the only way to deal with this. These people are so massively hypocritical, so massively duplicitous, that fact check box don't work, all right? Long pieces don't work. What will work and what you're going to get every week from this quarter is mockery, and more mockery, and more mockery. Because that is the way that we save America. And together, we're going to do that. And just remember, Trump stinks. And be sure when he shows up, you can do what we used to do in school. We'd put like a clothespin. You know, they had a guy sitting next to me, farted all the time. I'd put a clothespin on my nose. So when people stink, you do that. But let's bring this home. We'll be back next week. We'll have more files from Mrs. Johnson's pastoral counseling business. We have many things in store for you. But to you and yours, a very happy New Year. Thank you very much.